upfront about it is, look, our religious and moral beliefs are that as soon as you have a full set of chromosomes, 46, in an egg, you've got a human life. And you can, if you take that and you implant it into a uterus and it takes to the wall of the uterus and it grows, then that eventually can become a human being. We have a religious and or moral objection to that, and that's why we object to this kind of scientific research. But that's not what has happened during the course of the debates on stem cell research and these bills, both a bill which was a standalone that came through several committees I sit on, and also what you have before you. What has happened is this scientific language that gives here and takes away there, unless explicitly prohibited there. Nothing in this section shall affect there. It really is, candidly, and we all ought to be honest and upfront about it so we know what we're talking about. I'd rather have debates on that front. It's the agenda of the MCCL and the pro-life movement to move the line from what is considered to be human conception and to ban anything that interferes with the resulting cell. Now, I respect those who sincerely hold those beliefs, and it's a legitimate public policy debate that we ought to be having. I've got no problem with that, but we ought to be having it on terms that we understand, that we know what is going on, that it's not hiding behind other scientific language that pretends it's doing something else when that's not really what it is doing. Now, if we adopt this amendment, from what I can gather from reading it, assuming it does not negate the impact of the underlying bill, and I strongly suspect that Senator Fischbach would not be okay with this amendment if it did negate the underlying impact of the language in the bill, then we will be causing all sorts of damage. Damage to research, and we having distributed to your desks letters from the Coalition for the Advancement of Medical Research, a summary from the University of Minnesota, a letter from the Mayo Clinic, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, Life Science Alley, which is also reflected the same president as the president of the BioBusiness Alliance, information from the Minnesota Medical Association, a letter from the president of the Parkinson's Association in Minnesota. You've seen some of the other information already distributed that opposes restrictions on this appropriate kind of therapeutic stem cell research. And there's a reason why they oppose it. Because it has the potential to unlock an amazing variety of cures for what ails us. Take, for example, if I've got a bad heart and my heart muscle needs to be replaced. Using somatic cell nuclear transfer techniques, it's possible, or at least the theory is and the hope is, and the research is ongoing in a lot of places, they could actually create heart muscle out of my own DNA. So my body would not reject as foreign the transplant of someone else's heart muscle into my body. They could create the patch for my bad heart, or they could create a new kidney for me, or my own liver. And they can create diagnostic tools. The theory, anyway, that they are actively researching around the country is that these stem cells, when they are taken from a 4 or 5 day old embryo, which in the process destroys the embryo, but which never sees the inside of a human body, it lives only in a petri dish. They take those stem cells, they can coax those stem cells, the theory is, into other types of tissue, heart, muscle, bone, nerves, brain cells perhaps, and diagnostic tools so that it will track in your body and find cancerous cells that other diagnostic techniques are unable to find right now. Wouldn't it be nice to find out if you've got some